Hey guys, so you can see the title here. This lesson is called Installment Buying. It's basically about getting a loan for a car and making your payments. Each payment could be called an installment. So again, installment buying. You're just making payments on something. Could be anything really. Could be a computer you buy at Best Buy. But most of the problems, or maybe all the problems in here, are regarding cars, which, other than houses, is generally like one of the main things you would finance and pay payments on, and you can call that installment buying. So you can read through the definitions. You repay a loan on a monthly basis. You have your that's what installment buying is, a down payment. Here, right, down payment is the amount of money paid at the time of the purchase. A fixed installment loan is an installment loan with a fixed amount paid each month. The amount financed is defined here as the amount of money borrowed, which equals the initial price minus the down payment, right? So again, the amount you finance is aka the amount you borrow. Initial price minus the down payment. The total installment price is the amount of money paid total, which equals the total of all the monthly payments plus the down payment. The finance charge is the amount of interest from the loan, which equals the total installment price minus the initial price. So all these words, right, they're defined in other words, but these other words eventually make up our formulas. So first thing here, the cost of a pickup truck is $9,345. We can finance the truck by paying $300 down and $194.38 per month for 60 months. So the truck's $93.45, and the amount right here, right? Determine the amount financed. Well, if you look here, the amount financed is simply the amount of money you borrow, which you can calculate by taking the initial price and subtracting the down payment. As also pointed out here, the amount financed is the price minus the down payment. So the price, $93.45, minus the $300 is $9,045. That's the amount financed, aka the amount borrowed in this scenario. B says determine the total installment price. The total installment price is the down payment plus the cost of all the monthly payments. Well, it was 60 months times $194.38. So again, the down payment plus the total of all the monthly payments, and that came out to $11,962.80. And then the finance charge. The finance charge is the total installment price. Well, this is not defined here, but either way, the finance charge is defined up here. It's the amount of interest. It's the total installment price minus the initial price. So if you follow the formula for total installment price, you get that. You can subtract the initial price, which was given up here, $93.45, and you find that this truck that was $9,345 ends up costing $11,962.80 out of pocket over 60 months for a total of $2,617.80 of interest. That's kind of a lot of interest. This one's the same thing. The amount financed is you take the price and you subtract the down payment, $280, to get the amount you need to borrow, or the amount financed, $13,720. The next part here, determine the total installment price, is the down payment plus the total of all the monthly payments. So the $280 down plus $315 times 60 months. If you look back, you'll see that it was $315 a month for 60 months, which turns out to be $18,900. So add that to the $280 to get $19,180 total installment price. And then the finance charge would be the total installment price, $19,180, minus the initial price of the car, $14,000, to come to the total $5,180 of interest or finance charge. The next thing we have here is determining the APR, which is why I posted a picture of the APR table also in this lesson. So here's what we'll do. We'll find the finance charge and the amount financed, right? That's something we did from the first couple problems. And then we'll use those two amounts to find the finance charge per $100, which is simply the finance charge for $100 is you take the finance charge, divide by the amount financed, and then multiply by 100. And then we'll use the chart on page 429 with the finance charge for $100 and the number of months of the loan to determine what the actual rate or interest rate is. So this one takes the same information from example 1, and I'll just read it. The amount financed was $9,045. The finance charge was $2,617.80. The borrower financed the truck with 60 monthly payments. Use the table on page 429 to determine the APR. Okay, so we're going to take, per this formula here, we're going to take the finance charge, again, from example 1. That's one thing that's a pain about this section of notes 8.4. A lot of these examples do refer back to a previous example, so keep that in mind. Example 2 is referring back to example 1, and using that information, those calculations, I'm going to calculate the finance charge per $100. So I'm going to take the finance charge and divide by the amount financed, which again, coming from example 1, is $2,617.80 divided by $9,045, and you see the little formula here says multiply by 100, and that comes out to $28.94 of finance charge per $100. So pretty expensive. That's almost basically 29% finance charge, but either way, once I see it's $28.94 charge per $100, that's basically saying every $100 I borrowed actually cost me $128.94. Again, it's $28.94 as a finance charge per $100. So that being said, it's a 60-month loan. I'll show you where this 10.5% came from. I left this little kind of a path here. So here's the number of payments. Sorry, this is a little sloppy here, but it's number of PMTS. This is the number of payments. So this one had 60 payments, so I would find the number 60 in the chart, go down, and then to the side until I'd go down the chart till I find the number of payments down the left side, slide over till I find the amount we calculated charge per $100, $28.94. And once I have that, I can slide up to see what the APR is for that. So it's the left column that I'll start with for this one, number of months. So I'll find 60 here because it's 60 months. Once I find 60, I'll slide over until I get to $28.94 or the closest number to $28.94, and then I'll slide up to find the APR. So let me go to that image. So according to what I just told you, here's the number of payments. Again, this is the table that I'm using to figure out what the percent or the APR I'm being charged is. So this was a 60-month loan, so I'm going to go all the way to 60 months. I'm going to slide over till I find the closest number I can find to $28.94. Again, per my problem, per the information in my problem, and it's here, right? $28.94. The closest thing I can find to it is $28.96. Again, so 60 months. $28.96 is the closest number I can find, and I slide up and I see that this represents a 10.5% APR. Pretty expensive. At least, again, this scenario. So I know this little process is a little bit tedious, but again, what you got to do is calculate the finance charge per $100. You're trying to figure out what the APR is. You got to calculate the finance charge per $100 to do that. So then you can use the APR table. So use this info, use these steps to calculate the finance charge for $100. And another thing that's a pain about this lesson is you got to refer back to different problems. So I'm going to use the table and figure out the APR for the car loan described in practice 1. This up here is from practice 1, and it goes back to the first page also. But let's see. So I need the finance charge, which is here. The finance charge for this one is $5,180, and then I also need the amount financed. The amount financed is, oh shoot, I messed this one up. This needs to be flipped. The finance charge, $5,180, goes on top, as you can see in this formula. So $5,180 divided by the amount financed, which is $13,720. Again, this should be flipped. This should be $5,180 on top, $13,720 on bottom. And when I divide that and multiply by 100, I come to this number, $37.76. And guys, I don't know what this is. Ignore this here. This you don't need to worry about. Anyhow, calculating the finance charge per $100, I came to $37.76 per $100. And it was it was a 60-month loan, and you could see the answer here, but let's see where that came from. Again, 60 months and $37. So remember, as I'm looking at this table, it's I know how many months it was. It was 60 months again, and it was like $37.76, I believe. So 60 months, slide till you get to $37.76, which the closest thing I can find to that, right, is here. It's not exactly $37.76, but the closest number I can find, right? This is over $1 off. This one over here is only off by about 30 cents. So this is the closest thing I can find to my answer. And if I slide up, I can see 13.5% is the rate. So hopefully these notes help. Again, you could see the 13.5% answer. That was this little process here, calculating the finance charge for $100. Again, using this little set of steps. Once I have that, I go to my APR table, 60 months, go over to the number 3776, or the closest thing to that I can find, and slide up, and I got 13.5%. So again, I hope this helps. Thanks for having a look, and hopefully you can get through those practice problems. Thanks.